Hi, this is Thomas William Gardner again. There's something that I wanted to explain. I hope it will help you. And I know a lot of people out there that they love God, they love Jesus, they want to explain about Jesus, about God, and they have different ways of doing it. And some people are really good at it, and other people they sort of trip over everything and they get frustrated and everything. But they just want to share how good God is and what God has done for them. The problem is today is we have a different problem than what they had 200 years ago. If you remember in the Gospels, it asked us to go out and preach the gospel to all the world and to every nation. And I think we've done a pretty good job of getting the message out there to all the nations. You could go to Antarctica, you can go to the Arctic, you can go to Alaska, you can go to Russia, and people know about God and they know about Jesus. Now, whether they choose to worship him or not, that's a whole nother story. But I think sometimes there doesn't seem to be that fear of God that used to be there. You know, they used to say, I'll put the fear of God in you, or you're going to understand what the fear of God is, or you better get up here right now, you're in a lot of trouble, you know. And you sort of went hand in hand, the power of God, the power of your mother and father, responsibility, and you could just feel it, you know. You could feel where they're coming from because their words meant something. Now today, you know, I don't mean to be old about it, but it's just that I don't see where a lot of people are really afraid of God. And it's really sad because one day they'll have to look at him eye to eye. And he'll look down at them and they'll look up into his eyes and they want their name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. But it may not be there because during their lifetime, they just kind of laughed it off. But when we go to explain about God now, I found out that the easiest way to explain about God is to explain it by using realms. And I know probably everybody's out there thinking, what does he mean by using realms? Well, let's look at it this way. Years ago, a couple hundred years ago, they would say, well, you can drink off of that or you can eat off of that, and they would rinse it out and here you go. And then the time came and said, well, there's germs in there. And then the old joke was, well, I don't see any germs in there. Well, there's germs on your food if you don't cook your food right. There's germs there and they can get you. And then as time went on, there was bacteria. Well, I don't see it. Well, see, it could still kill you. We found out that viruses and flus and microscopic world that we cannot see, if things aren't washed right or cleaned right, it can kill us. It can take us out. It affects our health. And then people can say, well, I don't believe in that, but also people can die if they don't believe in it, right? And then there's a whole nother world that we found out that's even smaller than that, and it has to do with atoms. And in that world, that can kill you too. We found out that not only is there a world, but it's so powerful that it can run engines for a long time. It can power electricity. It can create bombs. Atoms can create bombs that can destroy the world. But yet, where are they? I can't see them. Still doesn't mean it can't kill you. How about the world of electricity? You can hear the hum and you can see the power from it, but you can't see the electricity. But yet, if you grab a hold of the wrong thing at the wrong time and somebody tells you don't touch that, you'll get electrocuted. Well, I don't see how I could get electrocuted, but you could, couldn't you? If you're told something could electrocute you, you know the power that's there that you cannot see, can kill you. Well, that's the way it is now. Those are different realms that we can't see and realms that we know about. And they're just as real as they can be, and they can help us, or they can also kill somebody. And we need to be very aware of them and be careful. Well, that's the way it is in this physical world that we can see. When you look at outer space, you can see it, but you can't really see the whole thing or quite how it works. But we can see it, but yet we know it's vast and it's so large that there's all kinds of different suns and moons and planets, and a lot of people think there's life. Well, it goes on and on like that, but we can't see it, but yet that space holds our earth up in the air. And this earth happens to be the place that is made in such a way that we have all the air that we need and all the water that we need, all the food that we need in different ways, and every property that we need to eat for our health is here. What a wonderful thing. But then at one point, it's going to be taken away from us. And we're going to go on to what? Another realm, another dimension. So if we know that the microscopic world is real and can take us out or help us, and we know that the atomic world is real and it can take us out or it can help us, and if we know that electricity is real and it can help us or it can take us out or it can light our world, and we know if we see space and we wonder about how beautiful it is, we know that it's real, but we can't seem to quite get there, or we don't know how to quite get there. Well, in the world that we live in, there is a way to get there, into the next realm. We'll step from this realm into another realm. And people can be divided on that and not divided on it. But it really doesn't matter, because there isn't anything we can do to stop it, is there? And yet, I've been with people when they passed, and I've been with friends that have had loved ones pass. And when they pass, unbelievable things. Oh, for example, I have some friends in the family, in-laws in the family. When their mother passed, she said, "Do you see it? Do you see it? He's here. He's here." And she looked up and she pointed, and they looked up and they said, "What, Mom?" And they turned back around and she had just passed. Or the friend that I talked to, and I was telling him about what happened with my mom and my dad when they passed and how incredible it was. And he said to me, he said, "I'm glad you told me the story." He says, "I was with my grandmother and we were looking over at the wall one night, and I noticed that there was like an oval in the wall, and I could see somebody on the other side." And he says, it was late at night. It was about 4 a.m. And he says, my grandma, I was right there with Grandma. I didn't want her to be alone. I didn't want her to pass away. So he loved her very much. And she said, "Do you see the wall?" And he said, "Yeah." She said, "Do you see the oval?" He said, "You can see that too?" And she said, "Yeah." She says, "He's been waiting for me for quite a while. He's come for me." And I could go on with stories like this, and just as real as they can be. But you see, as much fun as people make of God or Christians or whatever it is, there is a reality that kicks in, and it's just real. It's just as real as it can be. And we all have a choice. Are we going to choose Jesus? Are we going to choose the gatekeeper? Are we going to choose the master? Are we going to choose the Son of God? Are we going to choose the King of Kings? Are we going to choose him? Or are we just going to, well, I see it, I've heard it, I've read it, I don't know. A lot of coincidences. No, I don't think so. It's not coincidences. It's a reality. And it's a reality that we want to grasp, and we want to tell others about it. And they said, "Well, I don't understand it." Well, if you get a chance and you're just not getting through, talk to them about the different realms of life that we live in. And when this realm is over, what then? What then? Like the old story goes, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to get a scholarship and I'm going to play football. That's great. That's great. What then? Well, then I'm going to play professional and I'm going to have a good education. What then? Well, I'm going to raise a family. What then? He says, well, I'm going to grow old and eat a lot and watch TV. And what then? Well, I guess I'm going to die. And the pastor said, what then? What then? Well, these are just some of my thoughts, and I just wanted to share them with you. God bless you. I hope you have a great week, and I hope it helps somebody. And I know that trying to explain Jesus sometimes can be exhausting because they've heard a lot of stories about Jesus. But maybe that's a different way of going about it. Maybe in today's day, it's a better way. I remember at different times in history, there's different ways to take care of things. And when we were early on, a couple hundred years ago, and we were going all over the world, and we were talking about Jesus, and there was headhunters out there in Africa and headhunters in New Guinea and so on and so on. There's like a lot of places, South America had headhunters too, and on all these different places. And it was the funny thing was how can we get their attention? How can we get them to talk? Well, one day they were making German chocolate about 200 years ago, 250 years ago. And it tasted so good. And the natives in Africa came around and they said, "What's that?" And we go, "Well, we're making chocolate." "You're making chocolate?" And they go, "Yeah, it's German chocolate." "Really?" And they said, "Can I try some?" And they said, "You like it? Come tonight at 6 o'clock and we're going to be preaching on Jesus and we'll give you some chocolate. Tell your friends." So that night they came and they had told their friends, and they went back and they enjoyed the chocolate so much. I don't know about the message, but they told others and they said, "When are you going to preach again?" "So we're going to be preaching tomorrow night. You going to have more chocolate?" And they go, "Well, yeah, we're going to have more chocolate." And so they came back and they had more and more and more people came. So the old joke is that when Africa, which has Christians all over it now, by the way, when Africa was saved by Christianity, that the tool used was chocolate. Sometimes we have to use the tools that's given us, but don't despair. It's worth it. It's worth it. When you got some people in your family and they were totally going the wrong way, and now they're Christians and they love the Lord and their children are being raised as Christians, it's worth it. It's worth it. Well, those are my thoughts for the day. God bless you.